say welcome back, family. Welcome back, family. So, with today's episode, we always like to focus on a topic, and today's topic is a word called fear. It's something that we all kind of wrestle with at different times, different levels. I personally don't believe no one is without fear. There's always a sense, no matter how much we excel or how much we grow, there's just different things that we continue to see that we have a hesitation towards, that we fear, that kind of hold us back. So in the beginning, you heard me ask you that question, right? What are you afraid of? And I asked that because I hope those thoughts started to kind of joggle in your mind of thinking of what am I afraid of? And normally if I'm doing a training with this, I go ahead and I ask people about that. And the feedback I get is that, some people push back their first response is, I'm not afraid of anything. But after some questioning and after some kind of talking things through, we learn that there really is something that we all are hesitant towards, and it's actually more of those things that isn't the big mountains or the big fears. I think the small ones are actually much more worse because they stay kind of hidden, and we don't think that they are affecting us, but they really are. So why am I on this topic? Well, this morning I woke up, I had an early morning start, and I was on an interview with a team that's actually putting on a business mastery summit, and they actually contacted me with some events that I was doing, and it was an honor. I was really honored to kind of speak about leadership and healthy and sustainable leadership, all about the book that I'm writing also right now. But I did an interview there, and when I did the interview, that was one of the questions. The question was around, what is something that many people fear? How can you turn fear into, for them, was into profit, or into, how can you turn that around? How can you use that in a sense? Now, I'm going to share with you how I answered that, but at the same time, I'd like to have you, as you listen in and how I kind of broke it down, also ask yourself, what is it that is holding you back? Because if you still can't think of something you fear, flip it around and think of it like this. What is something that you've always wanted, or what is something right now that you say, wow, that'd be awesome, that'd be cool, that'd be great if I did it, but maybe you gave up on it, you lowered your standards, or you lowered your expectations, or you just don't have it. Now, it doesn't have to be something like a physical mean. I mean, it can be. Maybe you want something like a gift and you just didn't get it yet. Maybe you want to start a business and you haven't done that yet. Maybe you want to, on your spiritual side, you want to take some spiritual disciplines and you haven't done that yet. What is it? Because the reason why you want to ask that question in that way is because 9 out of 10 times what's holding you back is that there's something you're afraid of. There's something, there's a reason, even in your brain, how your brain is kind of wired. There's a part of our brain that believes things, and there's another part of our brain that actually makes choices, but it's not the same parts. So we can believe something, yet we can't live it out in our life. There's a fear in between that's blocking that. Now, there's a lot of different approaches, for healing. A lot of counselors and psychologists help people go through that process of helping them heal from that. And then that moves over in our mind to the part where we can actually make decisions so we can live it out. Now, that might be getting a little bit deep right now. So I like to keep things super practical, super easy to use. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go through what I shared in the interview this morning. So when I was asked the question, what do I think? What have I learned the most from fear? And I think it's really the fear of feedback. So if you write anything down, write that down right now. A lot of our listeners and those that support us actually take some great notes. So write that down, the fear of feedback. Now, a lot of times people look at feedback as complaints. That's another way to look at it, right? Because most people will give you feedback when they're really trying to complain about something. 9 out of 10 of things that people want to give feedback on is what they want to complain about. There are studies that show that when people enjoy their time at a restaurant or a movie, they might like it and walk out happy, but they're not compelled to tell somebody how happy they are. Now, if they're unhappy, they're very compelled to tell someone how they are. So this fear of feedback comes from a sense of also feeling like you failed, Maybe you wanted to help somebody, and when somebody gives you feedback, you feel like you fell short. You felt like you didn't measure up. You feel like, in a sense, that you failed. Also, there's a fear of judgment hidden in there, that you feel like you're being judged because someone is giving you feedback. So all of this really, really, when you have this fear of feedback, what happens is that we run from it. We don't want it. We actually will do stuff, and we kind of live this life like, it doesn't matter what nobody says. And though there's some truth in that, there's things we can do with feedback that actually help us polish our purpose if we continue to hear it in the right way. So we want to listen to feedback, and I'm going to tell you exactly how we determine what feedback to listen to and what we do to listen to that feedback. So if you're writing notes, here's the first thing you want to do. When somebody's giving you feedback, the first 2 steps I'm going to share with you is going to determine if we want to listen to this feedback, because you and I know that sometimes people just want to come and tell us everything and just be super negative and just kind of just dump their load on us, right? And then they leave, right? Like they throw the monkey on your back and then they leave, right? Now, we don't want that. I'm not encouraging that, but how you determine that is in the first 2 steps. So there's going to be 4 steps that I'm going to share with you right now, and it's going to help us turn feedback into what I call turning a complaint into a 5-star guess. That's it. So the feedback from a complaint and how you turn that into a 5-star guess. We've done that over and over again in organizations that I worked in, and our people that became our raving fans, if you say, or our loyal customers, or our, just returning, people that kept returning to the ministry or whatever it is because it actually started with a complaint. Which is awesome. You look at it. So here we go. So if you're taking notes, writing things down, here we go. It's really the 4 letters that spell out love. You want to love feedback. I'm going to break it down for you. So the first one is L. So L in love, the first thing you want to do when somebody is coming to you with any kind of feedback, any kind of complaint, first thing you want to do is you want to listen with your ears and not with your heart. Listen with your ears and not with your heart. You want to do a lot of things out of your heart. You actually do. Right now, you want to protect your heart. You want to guard your heart because you're passionate about something you're working on. And if somebody's giving you feedback, you want to guard your heart. You want to just listen with your ears. Here's a really easy way to do that. You want to listen for the information they're telling you, not the frustration they're telling you with. So write that down too. This is how you listen with your ears and not with your heart. You listen to the information they're giving you, but not the frustration that they're telling you with. So that's the very first thing is L, listen with your ears, not with your heart. Now O is you want to be open to their suggestions. Open to their suggestions. These 2 things is going to determine if you continue to hear this person out. Now, if this person only comes with complaints and no suggestions, that's usually a good indicator that you can just kindly thank them and kind of end the conversation right there, and value their time, but just that there's not going to be anything after that. So you thank them for it, you listen to them, but that's it, because they don't have any suggestions, they just have complaints, right? So you listen to the complaint, you hear it out, but the O in this step is you want to be open to their suggestions. So when they come with suggestions, you want to be open to that. Even though it might be different of how you do things, even though it might change your system, you just want to be open to that. So that's O. So first thing is listen with your ears, not with your heart. Second one is O, open to their suggestions. Now the next one is V, and this is all about the vision of where that suggestion would take you. So you want to go on this together with them, and it looks like this. If I'll role play, if you're coming and we're talking, and you're telling me something that you was unhappy about, I'm listening with my ears, not with my heart. I'm open to your suggestion, and you suggest something. And then I go ahead and I say, wow, that's a great idea. How would that look like if we was able to implement that every single time when you visit us? And you see, we're taking it to a vision of what that suggestion would look like. You really want to do that, because what that does is that detaches you and the person from the complaint, from the current frustration. So literally the anxiety in people lowers right at that time. Once again, we'll go through that, where if they're going ahead and they're coming to you with a complaint, they offer a suggestion. You say, thank you for that suggestion.